Pure Flix movie review.
All right, guys, we are doing our Pure Flix movie review, which I guess shouldn't be called the Pure Flix movie review anymore, Chuck.
The Great
right?
American Pure Flix movie review.
Yeah, it merged with another company or something.
Yeah, from what we went back and looked at, it looks like actually a few years back, a division of Sony Films actually bought out Pure Flix.
Okay.
And then they recently this year merged with Great American, which I had never heard of. Apparently, it's more of a cable network channel that's out there.
So basically, it's the minor leagues to Hallmark.
Somewhat, yeah. Okay. But I mean, apparently, they claim, and that's probably true, it's the largest faith-based family streaming service that's out there.
Probably. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, I don't know about that, but so
the largest collection of bad Christian movies on the internet.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow. Well, the movie we're doing today is Divine Influencer. I wanted to do this last time, but they teased it and it wasn't out, so we ended up doing one that we already knew, which was way better.
Way better.
Yeah. This is Dove approved, by the way. It is got the Dove stamp of approval. Now, when Dove stamps approval, it just means that it's pretty clean and it has a good message or something. It doesn't mean the movie's actually good. So in this case, let's give a quick synopsis. Remember the movie review we did just a few months ago?
Easy for you to say.
It was Making Him Famous.
Making Him Famous.
Where we had a guy that was pretty famous, and then something happened where he was brought low and almost homeless. Yeah. In fact, he became homeless. And then he worked at a shelter, and he learned that working at a shelter, he learned stuff, and then it got better for him again. And this is the exact same thing. The exact same thing.
This is the female version of the script.
It was better done. Like, I could actually hear it, and the shots were better, but it's the exact same story.
The production was definitely improved.
Yes, but it's the same story. I'm like, how? I don't know how. But anyway, so take that synopsis. That is what the story is about. She is an influencer on YouTube or something like that.
Instagram or something, whatever.
She's an influencer telling what people to buy.
Apparently somebody actually pays her to be the influencer.
Right. She has a job at it, and it's all about fashion. Right. So she's in the fashion world. And so she's very shallow. And I think they did a very good job of that.
That's true. They did.
She was very shallow. And so it's all about her and getting likes and subscribes, and whatever is out there, and followers, and she's getting a lot of followers, I guess. But then, through some bizarre circumstances, she loses all of her. She loses her job, and she loses everything.
And she loses her job. She loses her home. She loses her status. She loses her car.
Everything. In bizarre ways.
Yes.
Unrealistic ways. In Hallmark ways.
In 1 week.
Yes. It's so Hallmark-esque that just these things happen, and it doesn't happen in reality, but it happened. Like the cop we have an abandoned car, and it's parked. What are you talking about? Anyway, we're not supposed to get specifics.
See, I don't really think it's Hallmark-like so much, because Hallmark at least is heartwarming.
Well, this is supposed to be heartwarming.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Everything works out at the end. She gets the guy. Everything's happy. Well, I mean, the rescue mission is rescued.
Correctly, Hallmark is a good romantic chick flick movie. This one wasn't.
I don't know what movies you've been watching, Chuck, but
I'm saying if you want to call a good romantic chick flick a good movie, so I say good.
Okay, so let's be fair. This movie was not designed for people like Chuck and Larry and I.
No, it was not.
Or me.
Well, it is more designed for, it's a chick flick.
And maybe a 14, 15-year-old girl.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know who this was for, honestly. But it's more for the female persuasion.
Yeah.
It is definitely for that type of person. And not for us. I knew it going in. Like, if we watch the trailer, I'm like, what? Why would I care about a female fashion influencer working at a rescue mission? And is this supposed to be funny? It really wasn't funny.
Should have made it a musical.
So it would have been interesting. But it was done well. Like
technically speaking,
the editing was done very well. I could actually hear the things. The acting wasn't awful. I mean, they could only act their lines. and done with what they're supposed to. And, she's very shallow and so on and so forth. So I don't know. This is a tough one because I don't remember what I gave Making Him Famous. But this is not for me. This movie is not for me. I wasn't really going to like it. I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a bad Hallmark movie, and it just, we need to have earmarks of what makes it a Hallmark movie. And did it have this in there? Yes. Did it have this scene in there? Yes. I'm like, this is exactly, was it a female lead part? Yes. Okay. Did she lose everything, or did a guy come into her life accidentally? Supposedly, they were high school people, but they didn't know each other. I'm like,
that's right. Lockers next to each other.
Exactly, right next to each other.
Well, he grew up.
And he was handsome.
Yeah.
So.
I would say it was disappointing, except that I saw the trailer and I wasn't expecting.
No, I wasn't expecting.
It's just not going to be my thing.
Hey, but there's Bible studies that you could do.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, you're giving your score based on the Pure Flix score.
Mm-hmm. So, I found myself checking to see how much time was left in the movie.
Oh my goodness.
How much longer I had to endure. I'll stretch it and give it a 2.
Wow. Is that better than Making Him Famous?
I don't remember, but I actually liked Making Him Famous better.
Oh my. How can you say that?
It was the first time I saw the script. The production was horrible, but
I can't even hear it half the time.
Yeah.
Maybe your hearing is better. So 2.
2.
Okay. I think Chuck's sexist. He just likes the guy better in the other one.
I'm going to go with a 1.
A 1.
I was stretching for 2.
But I just knew going in it was.
Have you given a Pure Flix movie review more than a 1 besides Woodlawn?
No.
Okay. Right.
I think I gave one
he's consistent.
2 or 3 maybe.
Okay, Babe, what about you? You're usually the cheery one. Don't make me be the cheery one.
Okay. 2.5.
2.5. Gave you that half. Okay. Well,
at least I could see, watching with the kids and, explaining why I think living a shallow life is not good. And they could see that. So that's a good example.
Here's a good example of what not to be.
Yeah.
Right. And so for that, I will give it a 3. Because I thought that they did a very good job of showing she was very shallow and self-absorbed, and I think they did that. And she did have a change of heart, and she was trying. And they did talk about Jesus. There was no salvation scene in there, but they kept mentioning about Jesus, so it was a Jesus movie.
Wow!
But the message of Jesus was just as shallow as her life, right? But it was. But she did contemplate these things and realize that the life isn't about her, and she tried to make things better, and just bizarre circumstances. It just was come on.
Too many plot holes.
Oh, you don't think? So I will give it a 3 just because I could actually hear it. Everything seemed to sync up fine. Music wasn't too loud in certain spots. The cheese
music
factor
wasn't good either.
No, it wasn't great. Mm-hmm. But the cheese factor was at least a 7 or 8. It was just Hallmark. If you've watched a Hallmark movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
You almost found yourself wishing it was more cheesy because maybe it would be.
Yeah.
If they just went a little more overboard on that factor, maybe it would have been a little better.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think if my daughter put this together and did this movie, would I be happy with it? And I probably would if it came from her, but deep in my heart, I'd be like, no, girl. Anyways, so that's what we have for The Divine Influencer. If you want to go check out what we thought, and be like, are they really that crazy? You can waste 2 hours of your life and watch it too.
That's exactly how I felt when it was over. Can I have those 2 hours back?
Yeah.
Pure Flix needs to make a slapstick comedy that is really funny.
They're not going to do that.
I know, but
no.
They had an
You
opportunity.
should have cut us off 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
This is way too long on a movie that's not worth it.